You want to consolidate your credit card debt. Well, let me give you a few ideas that may help you and also warn you about some things that you need to be looking closely at. First off, you'll want to look at the interest rate. You may find that you've received an advertisement or seen some information about a really good interest rate on opening a new credit card. But you have to remember that these are oftentimes what they call a tickler rate. In other words, it's an upfront low interest rate, but only for a short period of time. What that means is after that period of time, it's going to increase to a higher rate of interest, and you don't necessarily have control over what that rate is going to be. So you need to look closely at all of your options. Also, you need to realize that you may have a credit card that has a reasonable interest rate that will work very well to absorb the other credit card debt that you have. Oftentimes, you'll want to check with your credit union first because their interest rates tend to be a little bit lower than other organizations. Also, you can sometimes consolidate your credit card debt into a secured debt. If you have a car or property or even your home that does not have debt to the level that it can sustain, then you can oftentimes use these to absorb your credit card debt. But I want you to be very, very careful about that because oftentimes you can absorb more debt than you should into a home equity line of credit. And what I mean by that is you have to realize that your home is very important to you in more ways than just being a good asset. If you were to absorb too much debt into a home equity line of credit, you could lose your home if you could not afford to make the payments on that particular line of credit. And also, if you needed to sell or chose to sell your home, having too much debt absorbed into that home equity line of credit could prevent your being able to sell your home. What you need to do is look at all of your options before you jump into how to consolidate your credit card debt. Oftentimes, your best option is going to be simply to pay it down as quickly as possible. Also, you need to look at what is the current amount that you're paying on those credit cards. If you're trying to just pay that minimum balance on each of your cards every month, no, you will not pay that off in a prudent manner. You need to look at your budget, look at what all your options are, and then make a wise decision.